Join us on Geek Blood, the show you can't ignore. Ray and Kevin diving deep into all things galore. Comic book, movie, sci-fi, and action thrill. Reviewing new TV shows, we keep it real, real. Reminiscing the attitude era, wrestling at its peak. Nostalgia from the 80s and 90s, memories we seek. Pineapples for our rings, a unique touch. Geek culture in our blood, we love it so much. Geek Blood forever, we love it so much. Geek Blood, where we talk about it all, from superheroes to wrestlers. We stand tall, Ray and Kevin, the dynamic duo in sight. Geek Blood, shining bright, shining bright. Did you hear about Pluto? That's messed up, right? Geek Blood, taking you on a nostalgia flight. From movies to TV, we cover it all. Join us every week, we'll have a ball. Shuffle.
Hey, what's happening?
Nothing much, man. How are we doing?
Doing good. As you can see, Kevin's traveling.
In the
He's
sunshine
got his Hawaiian
state,
shirt
I am.
on. He's in
Yep.
Florida.
I'm out of my room for the first time in 3 months.
Yep. And you've been on the road since what? At least a week and a half
Fucking
ago when you
Last
left.
Thursday, yeah.
You've had quite the travels. We'll talk about that in a minute.
I have.
But first, we missed the first of the month, so we're going to jump into a show and tell. That's in the wrong spot.
So many geeky things that we could pull off from the shelf. We've been collecting shit for years and now we're whipping it out. So it's time to showcase all the money that we wasted well. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It's Geek Web Show and Tell.
I'll do mine first because
Yes.
it's something small. Started a new collection of old. Remember these,
Okay.
Kevin?
Yep.
Completely intact with the tie still there.
Nice.
Eventually, I've always wanted to get the Firehouse.
Mhm.
I mean, everybody
I
was
used
a
to
geek
have it.
in the 80s. Yeah, I did too.
Yep.
I want to get it again, but this is the first figure of hopefully many. Once I get some more money, I want to get all four
Nice.
of these figures.
Nice.
But I got Egon
Excellent.
from the Real Ghostbusters, complete and everything. Kind of cool. And Kevin found something on his travels down to Florida. He's
I
ready
did.
to unbox it.
So, we went to an area called Comic Row in Savannah, Georgia
Okay.
the other day. It's one block, and there's 5 comic and toy shops on that block. Like, they had all those figures in the case.
Yeah.
I'll send you pictures later. But, as you know, I've been reading Berserk. And I
Yes.
went in the store, and I saw these statues.
Wow.
And I said to myself, Self, I don't need that. And then I walked out of the store. And about 2 feet out of the store, I walked back and said, Self, I think I need that. The store was awesome. It had a bunch of old working arcade machines. It had old SNESs, like an NES, like the action set, like still in the box. So those were super expensive. But
Yeah.
now I guess I might as well try to take this out of the box. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we'll just work that. We'll do one of these. That guy upside down. Box boom. Okay, well, it's pretty tight in there. Let's see. There we go. Probably should have thought this through. Oh, there we go.
Nothing says bring a knife to a podcast.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow.
And there he is. There's some collectible stuff in it, but that is
Yeah.
Guts, the main man. Guts.
Nice.
This is a pretty dope statue. Glad I got it. The book is fantastic. Big recommend if you're looking for something to read and want to try manga. It's pretty awesome. I can't lie.
Nice. Nice.
And
That's
it came with
cool.
some accessories and stuff I'll check out later. But yeah. Oh,
Never really heard of
here,
it.
here it is. Yeah. I think I'm the only one that's ever talked to you about it. And I only heard about it because of people in the Discord, but this is his sword right there. Gonna go right into his hand. Awesome.
Nice.
My first ever unboxing on the podcast.
Yeah, that's a cool
Yeah,
unboxing.
dope
Never even
figure.
heard of it. Yeah,
Yep.
really cool figure.
Big recommend.
Awesome.
The story is really good. It's super easy to read. The only problem is it's been written since 1987, I want to say. So there is 40 omnibuses.
Oh.
But they're quick reads. Like I read one today just because. You can sit
Nice,
down and read
nice,
it in like
nice.
3 sittings. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll look into it. And Kevin is on his travels. He stopped in Philadelphia, stopped in Savannah, like you said. Now he's in Florida. And you had some fast food. You've been to different food
Yes.
places during this
Yep.
week and a half. So let's talk about it with the fat fucks.
The fat fucks are back. Yeah, you know Muffin River, but the fat fucks are back. Motherfucker, show me the fat fuck.
So
So
you left probably 10 days ago.
10 days? Yep,
Something
10
like that.
days. Yep.
First stop was back in Philly. You were just there a month ago.
Yes.
How did this stop
I
go
did-
this time?
Yes, very good. We did Raisin Canes because I had never had that.
Yep.
Even though there is one now near us in Saugus, not really near us,
Yep.
but down towards Boston. Very good. The chicken was pretty good. The only problem is the chicken doesn't have much flavor, so they rely on their sauce, which is also pretty good. But that's always an issue if you have to rely on the sauce. But it was
Yep.
good.
Nice.
Wasn't overly expensive. I think I got like 3 tenders and fries for like $10.99.
Okay.
My friend asked for extra sauce. They gave him a cup, and they literally filled up like a 16-ounce Pepsi cup of sauce.
Yeah. I knew that
think
they
I
did.
said-
I knew that they.
Yeah.
I knew that they did that. But then when you showed me the picture, I was like, oh, I thought it was just a viral thing. But they really do that.
Yep, they really
Yeah.
do that. And then on the way down to see my friends in South Carolina, I stopped at a Bojangles. Have you
Okay,
ever
yep.
had a Bojangles?
No, we mentioned it probably a few weeks ago when we were talking
Probably.
about chicken places, and one of the places I wanted to try.
Bojangles has my favorite fast food fries I've ever had. They have like a little Cajun
interesting.
seasoning on them. Their sauce, I think it's just called like Bo sauce, is really
Mhm.
good. It's really different. It's more like a Romolard, like it's a chunky dipping sauce. It's very good.
Okay.
And like it feels like it would taste good on fish also. Which is
Okay.
probably the point. It's like a Cajun sauce. It's a little bit thicker, almost thick like a tartar sauce, and it was really good. And then when I went to Savannah, we went to this place. I can't remember the name of the place, but I had a burger on a pretzel bun. It wasn't just like a hamburger bun that's made like out of a pretzel. It was a legitimate like pretzel, and it had Gouda cheese, caramelized onions, and bacon on it, and that was
Wow.
fantastic. And then we went to this little spot for barbecue also, and they didn't have their liquor license. They had like this bin of just drinks, like they had Coke, they had like Corona in it. And the guy was like, I can't sell liquor, but he's like, you can help yourself to the beer. So I paid like $10.99 for a couple ribs, and the beer was free. So if I lived in that area, I would go there constantly. So yeah, that's where I've had so far.
Nice.
A couple other places, but just your basic places I just stopped at because I was
Yeah.
hungry or whatever. But those are the new experiences so far.
Nice.
Yep.
How long are you out there? How long are you down there for? Like another week or so? Week
Um,
and a half?
I go to work the 29th of April, so anytime before then.
No. You could be back in the next month and a half sometime.
It's open-ended, yeah.
Did you want to jump into a Teach Ray Sports? I know you mentioned it yesterday off pod. Did you want to jump into that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. Teach Ray Sports.
This is the theme to Teach Ray Sports. We needed a theme for Teach Ray Sports. I couldn't think of anything that would be original. I stole this instrumental from the Gary Shanley Show. This is the theme to Teach Ray Sports. This is the theme to Teach Ray Sports.
All right. So tonight, besides the Oscars, I'll have to do double watching because the Oscars are on tonight too. We have the World Baseball Classic semifinals between the U.S. and the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
The World Baseball Classic started in like 2006. At first, it was supposed to go like every 3 years, and they randomly after 2009 decided to go every 4 years. So they went 4 years after that into 13. And then they were like, let's go back to every 3 years. So it's been played 5 times since in the last 20 or so years. The only teams that ever win, U.S., Dominican Republic, and Japan. Well, this year, Japan is fucking out, which sucks because everyone thought they were going to play the U.S. in the finals. The only thing that sucks about the World Baseball Classic is the way baseball is structured, and MLB is too greedy to take games off the schedule and do it in like July for like 2 weeks. So they do it in spring training. So like nobody's at their peak at all. Like this is the time where you're supposed to be like ramping up for the season. You're not in like mid-season form. So like tonight we have Paul Skeens going for the USA, and he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. But with the fact that it's technically still spring training, like you have no idea. Like he might get absolutely blown up in 3 innings, or he could do fantastic for 3 or 4 innings. You have no idea of knowing that. But the passion I have seen from a lot of the foreign teams, specifically Italy, who is still in it, and they have a cappuccino machine in their dugout playing up to the stereotype. It's pretty awesome. So every time somebody gets a hit, the team goes and gets some espresso. They're going to be a fun story to watch because the manager of baseball didn't seem to understand how a round robin worked. Like he thought because they were 3-1 that they were automatically on to the next round, but it actually depended on like Mexico, and I think Italy was playing, and like there was all sorts of like different things. Like the ball basically had to go the right way. Like Italy had to win by like 6 or whatever, and they did. Thankfully, so the U.S. advanced because he literally rested all of his starters and just played random guys, and we lost to Italy that one game. So we were 3-1 in that round when he thought we had already gone to the next round. So Mark DeRosa, you're kind of an idiot. Kenny Powers would not be happy with you. He'd say you're fucking out. And now the qualification for where you play is you need somebody in your direct lineage, or you have to be a dual citizen. So it's a little bit leaner than the Olympic rules about how you can choose your team. But like the joke is always like when some team gets eliminated, like, oh, well, now he can start playing for the U.S. or something like that. But they never do that. But yeah, tonight, World Baseball Classic, 8 o'clock, U.S. Dominican Republic. It's going to be a fun game, hopefully. And
Nice.
Red Sox own Roman Anthony has been absolutely crushing the ball for Team USA. Actually, all of the Red Sox players have been crushing the ball for their teams. But
Nice.
yeah, it's been fun to watch. It's been fun.
Nice. Well, let's jump into what we watched in the last couple of weeks. We haven't been on since I think February, but we'll talk about this briefly because it was such a disappointment, and it seems like we've been saying that a lot about the WWE lately. Under the TKO brand. But Elimination Chamber happened the end of the month. From Chicago, CM Punk versus Finn Balor. CM Punk won, setting up a match with him. Roman Reigns going into WrestleMania. And Danhausen debuted and was booed out of the building, but they've been using him the last few weeks on Raw.
That debut was a terrible first look at Danhausen for people who didn't know who he was.
Yep. Terribly produced. But they've been using him backstage in camera vignettes, which has worked perfectly.
Ever since he's been fantastic. The social media awareness on Twitter is crazy right now for him. He's all over my timeline, which is awesome because it takes me away from the fucking cult.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, that's basically it. The other thing, there's big rumors happening for WrestleMania. Jelly Roll was one of them. He showed up at SmackDown, so he'll be there at WrestleMania again. He's lost a ton of weight. I think like 300 and something pounds.
Yep.
Tom Brady. He's had kind of a off again, on again spat with Logan Paul. And he's been talking.
You
Tom
know-
Brady's been talking a lot of shit about wrestling.
Okay, can I just say one thing about Thomas Edward
Yes.
Brady?
Yes.
When the Patriots played in the Super Bowl, I probably mentioned this, I don't know. But when the Patriots played in the Super Bowl against the Seahawks, he said he has no dog in the fight. Thomas Edward Brady, the Patriots 6 months ago erected a statue outside of fucking Gillette Stadium.
Right.
For you to say you have no dog in the fight, I have big issues. In fact, unretire his number and give it to fucking some undrafted douchebag. Anyways, go on.
Is that the consensus of everyone in New England?
People were pissed when he said that. 'Cause,
Yeah, I
mean,
kind of knew they were, but
well, the Raiders already agreed to hire the offensive coordinator of the Seahawks, and he's a partial owner of the Raiders. So that's probably why he said that. But I mean, come on.
okay. Well,
Anyways,
anyway,
go on.
his next adventure may be in the WWE or WrestleMania. Is a trademark department in the company that are trying to come up with names and T-shirts and merchandising for him, the specialized merchandise going into WrestleMania for Tom Brady, if it happened. One of the names was T-Bone and the Untouchable Tom Brady. Okay.
What?
So, I don't know if he'll have some sort of an interaction with Logan Paul. I don't know if he'll just show up like maybe outside of the ring, behind the barrier, and Logan Paul will talk to him and smack him. I mean, that's happened before.
Yeah,
There's
it'll
been
be something like that.
interactions
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll show up in the ring and take a chance of injuring himself. But
No,
yeah,
shouldn't.
no,
You should not
I
do
did
that.
see that. I didn't want to bring it up. WrestleMania is like a month from now, so we'll talk about it more then. I know you've been traveling. I don't know what you've watched.
I've watched
have
Ted.
You watched?
I've watched Ted. That's about it.
Excellent, because we're going to be talking about that fully. Shrinking. Have you caught up on Shrinking in the last couple of weeks? Maybe the week before you left.
I'm gonna watch tonight. Last night I got here and we pretty much partied.
Yeah.
Hung out, drank, played games, stuff like that. So I'll be getting to that probably tonight.
Roller coaster of an episode this week.
Excellent.
Went everywhere, up and down, up and down. Very last scene was gut wrenching. That's all I'll say. Great show on Apple TV. Everybody should be watching it. If you like Ted Lasso, if you like Bill Lawrence shows, he did Scrubs. He's done a whole bunch of stuff. I think he did Desperate Housewives, all those shows back in the early days. But yeah, great show on episode 7. Next week's episode 8. And I think there's 10 episodes. So it'll be over by beginning of April. Paradise, episode 4 and 5. This show is just as good as the first season.
Nice.
It's on Hulu. Airs on Monday mornings. Goes on Hulu there. It is very good. A little bit different. They're not in the dome this season. I think they've only shown maybe one scene in the dome. Everything else is outside of the world, where he's trying to find his wife. I don't want to give too much away because there's a lot of spoilers this season compared to last season too, where there was that big spoiler of the dome. But yeah, definitely worth watching on Hulu on the second season. I think they're just about halfway through the season. And it's on Hulu, Disney Plus. If you have Disney and Hulu, you can watch it on there too. Very good show. And like you mentioned, while we were away, the whole season 2 of Ted showed up on Peacock. We've been waiting for this for a while, a couple of years now, and
Sure
it did
did.
not disappoint. Did not disappoint at all.
To me,
only-
before we get into it, I did not think it was as good as the first season, but I
No.
love the first season so much. And there's one episode we'll get into it that I didn't really care for, but this season overall was a solid like 8 out of 10. I fucking love this show.
What episode did you not like?
Oddly enough, the D&D one I was not feeling.
See, that was the best episode of the season for sure.
For you.
It was, yeah. It was.
I didn't even finish it.
Everybody's saying it. Yeah, everybody loves that episode. They put a lot of work into it. If you love D&D, you're gonna love it. But there's just a lot of sci-fi, a lot of CGI in that episode. Seth MacFarlane. There's a cameo of Bill Clinton in this. Set in the 90s, of course, and Bill Clinton was the president. He shows up in the Dunkin' Donuts somewhere in Boston, and Seth MacFarlane came in as Bill Clinton, and they used deep fake AI to change his face in the whole episode to Bill Clinton. And he had the voice and everything down because I mean Seth MacFarlane does voices on Family Guy, so no surprise there. But they tried some prosthetics, they tried traditional CGI, nothing looked right, so they went with the AI stuff. We talked about it before. They did it with Luke Skywalker and Mandalorian. It just looks better. It's just the way that works. It just looks better. That's the AI I like. It's the AI stuff that when you see an award show like the Academy Awards, you see Tupac sitting next to Biggie,
Right.
in the audience. I don't like that shit. And then Michael Jackson winning an award for what I don't know. Pedophile of the year? I have no idea. But that's the type of AI I like. This type of AI where you can use it to the advantage of whatever you're doing. Like you mentioned, you didn't like it. I loved it. The D&D episode. I thought it was great.
I did not laugh once during this entire episode. I was just like sitting there.
I thought it was great.
But I'll
speaking
probably
of
watch
Stoneface,
it they haven't seen it here, so I might watch it again this week.
Oh, it's great. Speaking of Stoneface, when they're in the play at the high school, and they're dressed as knights and they're stoned off their ass.
Yep. I think that's my favorite episode. I love.
It's one of my favorites of the season too. Yeah. Unfortunately, because this show takes a long time to get between seasons, just because of the CGI of the bear. Everything else is very easy to make for this show. It's very small sets, a high school set. Well, not now. He's graduated from high school. Spoiler. But
weren't they supposed to drop like a secret extra episode, or was that a fake rumor?
That's definitely fake. I didn't hear that.
I saw it on Twitter. I figured.
They always say that. It's funny. They say that about a lot of shows. I think
because I'm guessing because of what show did do that?
Sandman did that. Like a week later, they had an episode that came out in season 1. But Seth MacFarlane says that season 3 is not guaranteed just because of the high budget. It costs between $8 to $10 million per episode, which is a lot for a TV show. And especially when you consider the bear CGI.
It's a lot for a TV show on Peacock. For Game of Thrones, that's like going out and getting lunch at McDonald's. But for Peacock, it's because they have such a small subscriber base and all that. So they're talking about doing animation.
Yeah, the animation is the big thing. Ted animated series will supposedly release later this year, and it's a continuation of the movies. So Mark Wahlberg, Amanda Seyfried, all coming back to reprise their role. But it's going to be animated. Animation is so much easier to do, so it's understandable. But I would. Seth MacFarlane did say that if they wanted to, they could continue the Ted live action show for 20 seasons. They have plenty of stories they want to tell. But it's like doing an Avengers movie every 22 minutes. So
he's just trying to get an online campaign going. I guarantee it. Because that shit worked for Family Guy.
A lot of people. Right. I think a lot of people are watching it, but the only difference is a lot of people have Peacock. Peacock is not one of the higher streaming services, so that's the problem. If it was on Netflix or it was on another streaming service, maybe.
I saw somebody tweet out, and it's kind of true. Like, it's really one of the few shows, especially on Peacock, but it's one of the few streaming shows where you hear people, like, in real life just out talking about. So I think it's very popular to those that have Peacock. But the issue is Peacock has such a small subscriber base compared to like HBO or Netflix that it's going to be tough.
The social media word of this show, it's on everything. It's everywhere, on Twitter, on Facebook, at least for the first week, and of course that dies down usually once the viewing dies down. But I hope we see a live action season 3. Going to college, that'd be interesting. Seeing Ted going to college with his it would be great. They did the Thunder Buddies. They did the Thunder Buddies gag in the beginning of the end of the first season. Speaking of Thunder, wow, that's good timing. The great show. Everybody should watch it. It's on Peacock, season 1 and season 2. Both seasons are great. And if you've never seen the movies, you should definitely go back and watch those too, because those are great. The first one's a classic. So, I watched a couple of things. I don't think you watched either one of them. Well, I'll talk about this documentary. I know you didn't watch this. Man on the Run, Paul McCartney. This is a documentary all about Paul McCartney when he left the Beatles at the end of the 60s. He kind of didn't know where to go after that because he was in this ensemble for so long. He didn't know how to create the music on his own. So this is all talking about him going solo in the 70s, going into a little bit into the 80s, and mostly in the 70s, and creating the band Wings.
Yep.
And of course, Band on the Run, and that record's such a great record, complete. I think it's not too many songs on it either, but yeah, and meeting Linda, getting together, and just she wasn't a singer, but she joined Wings.
Yep.
He kind of talked her into it, and of course, their romance was a hit. It was just a famous romance in Hollywood. She died in the 90s of cancer, but yeah, great documentary. This is on Prime right now. If you love any Beatles history, Beatles documentary stuff, this is on there. Watch it, a couple hours. Yeah, it goes pretty in depth about his solo career, and talks a little bit about when John. I think it ends right about when John Lennon gets shot. So it talks about him. Finding out that news going out of the when that happened. But yeah, great documentary. In a movie. I know you haven't had a chance to see this yet, but it's on Netflix. Gonna briefly talk about it. Called War Machine, starring Alan
there you go.
Richardson. There you
Yes.
go. Starring Alan Richardson.
I have not.
But it's very good, and it makes
Yeah.
the point that Alan Richardson needs a franchise. He needs. I'm not sure if this is it, but he needs a franchise of some kind.
Film franchise. He already has a TV
film-
franchise.
yeah.
Yes.
A film franchise that he can carry for multiple movies. Maybe not necessarily. I think he'd be a great blockbuster franchise too in the theater.
Yep.
Kind of. And on Netflix is a little different. We say that all the time, TV versus about movie theater releases. But this is one of the better movies I've seen on Netflix, interestingly enough. A lot of action. It's basically about a machine that comes down to Earth. If you've seen the trailer, you already know this. And he's out there with a platoon of people that are training. And they're thinking it's part of the training program in the beginning, but no, it's an invasion of some kind. I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but yeah, it's very good. 4 out of 5. The other thing I wanted to bring up, I don't think we're going to do it now once you get back, but I have rated all the Tarantino movies. We mentioned it in the last episode. And I do want to get into that when you get back, when you have more time to kind of figure that list out. I'm sure you already have an idea.
And there is a few I need to rewatch before finalizing, which usually happens. It happens with my top 10 every year too. So
you're on a little bit of a delay. I don't know what happened after the power problem or whatever just happened. I think we're okay though. Okay. That being said, let's get into the news. And it's not a news segment, it's a trailer roundup. Got a trailer for a movie called Power Ballad, starring Paul Rudd and Nick Jonas. And it looks like Paul Rudd writes songs, and Nick Jonas is a star that steals them. And that's basically what I've got from it.
Interesting.
Didn't get, it's a little small trailer. It's like maybe 40 seconds. That's all we've seen so far. Keep an eye on that. Pinocchio Unstrung. We talk about this Poonaverse, and it's the first look trailer of this movie. It looks horrifying, and in order for Pinocchio to become a real boy, he starts stealing body parts and putting it onto himself, like stealing faces, and it looks creepy as fuck. This looks like something that you would. Out of all of these Poonaverse movies, this is like something you would be down for.
Yeah, they've all been awful so far. I can't wait for this one though.
Yeah, trailer looked great. I like Pinocchio, so I may actually watch this one. Yep. So, a brand new trailer for a movie called Hokum, starring Adam Scott. It's set in this like weird haunted house. Something about the film follows a horror novelist who travels to an Irish inn to scatter his parents' ashes, unaware that the inn is rumored to be haunted by a witch. Trailer looked interesting. Gonna keep an eye on that. I do like Adam Scott. Of course, in Severance, Boy Meets World back in the day. He played Griff. So Griff. Keep an eye on that. This weird trailer. I semi like Will Ferrell in some movies, but a movie called The Hawk, coming out on Netflix sometime this summer. Trailer looked dumb. It was maybe 30 seconds, just a preview of what this is all about.
You know how I feel about Will Ferrell.
I'm not sure if I'd watch it either.
You know how I feel about him. Like, I like him in supporting roles.
He's
fucking great in supporting roles. And there's a couple movies like I like Elf, obviously, because everyone fucking likes Elf. But for the most part,
Yeah.
as a leading man, like Elf, the other guys, there's probably one more I probably like with him as the leading man, but not a huge fan of him doing these sports movies.
Step Brothers
That
is
was
one
the
of
other
my favorite
Step Brothers.
comedies.
Yes.
That's like
Step
one of my
Brothers is the
favorite
other one.
comedies. But yeah.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch that either. It looked very bad. I'm gonna watch this. I think it comes out next week. Came on my radar while we were away. And you know I love time travel fuckery. Mike and Nick and Alice. And of course, Vince Vaughn plays the same person coming back in through time travel fuckery named
Nice.
Nick. And if you haven't seen the trailer, don't watch it. You love to be surprised by stuff. And of course, James Marsden's in that as well.
Nice.
Isa Gonzalez, who I've seen in something. I just can't think of what I've seen her in. But trailer looked great. Time travel fuckery, of course, which we love on this show. The other time travel, there was something else. The new movie with Sam Rockwell that just came out. We're gonna watch that for next month sometime or the next episode. I'm gonna try to watch that.
Nice.
Good luck, have fun, don't die.
Yes, I want to watch that too.
And a new documentary mentioned at the last episode. Trailer came out for Lorne, all about Lorne Michaels. Comes out on April 17th in theaters, probably sometime in May, digitally. But cannot wait to watch that because I've been loving all the Saturday Night Live stuff they've been doing the last year. So can definitely watch that. Got a brand new trailer for The Boys' final season. Comes out just a couple weeks. The first episode comes out. I think there's 2 episodes air. April 8th. You got The Boys, and we got all the Vought boys there. There's all the episode releases. You got first 2 episodes coming out on April 8th. And the finale airs on May 20th. So we look forward to that. Malcolm in the Middle. Wasn't a big fan of the show, but the trailer looked funny. I love Bryan Cranston now.
Yep.
Didn't really know him much back when the show first aired, early 2000s. But
I missed this show. I never watched it.
Yeah, me too. I think I watched it. It was on something. It was on after something I was watching on Fox and would air off after that. But I don't remember what it was.
Right.
But yeah, just a continuation, kind of reboot of Malcolm's life to see what he's doing 20 years later. Basically, what you'd expect from a show like this. So yeah,
right.
Everybody's come back except for the youngest son. I know they recast him, but
okay.
A brand new look at Guy Ritchie's new movie with Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal called In the Gray. Looked great, and it looks just like all of Guy Ritchie's other action movies.
Yep.
So yeah, right on the same par of that. Comes out May 15th. This movie looks fucking weird. It's got the kid from the Goldbergs, and it's got the kid from Stranger Things, and it's a college college trip movie called Pizza Movie on Hulu, April 3rd, about drugs and hallucinations and trying to get a pizza before the end of the day so the drugs will wear off. It looks weird. But yeah, I did want to bring that up. And trailer for Super Mario Galaxy comes out just a few weeks from now. Looked great. Cannot wait. Love the first movie. Love Mario, of course. We both do. So cannot wait to see this. Looks like it's going to be another love nostalgia fest for us growing up. Joining the cast of Yoshi, I don't know why they did this as Yoshi. It's Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. Luis Guzman's going to be playing Wart the frog, and Issa Rae is going to be playing Honey Queen. I don't know what game that's from, but yeah. Got another teaser with just as much more questions for Disclosure Day by Steven Spielberg. This came out just a couple days ago, and I have even more questions now than I did from the first trailer. I would be interesting if we see like this, like it being a continuation of like E.T. We just didn't know it yet. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's done, what is this? His third big blockbuster alien movie. He did Close Encounters, then he did E.T. and then this, right? So yeah, who knows? Yeah, who knows? Another big trailer. Only a minute long, but Michael. I cannot wait for this movie. Comes out. Tickets just went on sale. Comes out next month. We see a little bit more glimpse of the Jackson 5, glimpse of Michael producing his records, and some brand new posters for that as well. And we got the soundtrack, which kind of tells you where the movie is going to land as far as time-wise. Of course, it's going to do the Jackson 5, but it's going to end on the bad, which is going to be like mid 88, 87. So they're not going any further than that. So
Yeah.
the rumor's always been that there's going to be a second movie. And that's probably hasn't been confirmed yet, but this is probably more proof of that. Going into the 80s and 90s, of course, with the Dangerous album and everything else that happened to him. But yeah. And finally, the big thing that released just a couple of days after our last episode was the Lanterns trailer released. Been a while, but we'll talk about it because we haven't talked about it yet. But visually, it looks great. A lot of people are shitting on it just because of the tone of the color. This show has been said from the very beginning. It's very much like True Detective.
Right.
It's going to have that same gritty feel.
Like,
everybody should know that by now. You're not expecting the green glow right away.
Right.
And
also,
everybody
like,
is and
that could
complaining
be a
about it.
huge that could be a huge moment in the show too, like when Pierre actually gets
Right.
his ring, and when you actually see the aura. They HBO decided to go ahead and finish up House of the Dragon season 3 before doing this, which makes sense because Game of Thrones is kind of hot again after Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
It did, yeah.
But I can't wait for this. Aaron Pierre is gonna fucking crush it, and I'm sure we got more to talk about him in news coming up. And obviously, you know how I feel about Kyle Chandler. You know how I feel about Kyle Chandler.
I don't know if we have any. What's the Aaron Pierre news? Maybe I don't have it in there.
He's officially in Man of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I do have that. I forgot.
Yep.
It's been so long we've been doing because we did a show last.
There's probably a ton of news and whatnot, but yeah, he's gonna be Man of Tomorrow. We'll talk about that again later. But
the other thing nobody's talking about. One of the synopsises of this show when it was announced was Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart are looking for a murder mystery. It sounded like to me like they were talking about a lantern that got murdered.
Yep.
Is that Guy Gardner?
No.
Are you sure?
I think it's Alan Scott, and I think prediction wise, Hal Jordan's gonna die, and Guy Gardner meets Aaron Pierre's Jon Stewart.
Who does in the comics when Hal Jordan dies? What does he become? I can't remember the
Parallax.
name. Parallax. Yeah. Okay.
And he's almost a bigger character in his death than he is.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
So.
Yep. I'm sticking with the Guy Gardner only because he's part of the show. He's already announced as part of the cast. Right. Haven't seen him in any of the promos yet, which is weird. But maybe there's a reason for that. And that's the only reason I'm kind of thinking, well, is he the murder mystery of this whole thing? And the other thing that kind of proved it in the trailer, is like Hal Jordan's talking about all the lanterns. None of them speak English. I'm the only human.
Well, we don't know where this takes place in the timeline.
Right, yeah.
So
we don't know that.
This might be, maybe he just hasn't met Guy yet, or maybe Guy isn't technically a Green Lantern because he's in the Justice Gang.
Right, yeah.
Like he's not
right.
part of the Green Lantern Corps, or he doesn't associate with himself with the Lanterns at this point. Maybe. I'm not sure, but a lot of people are not happy about this online, which makes sense because it's online. It's Twitter.
Yeah. Yep. Anything to complain about, especially DC. The DC stuff is the most volatile part of the internet community right now. Especially the Snyder.
Star Wars
is bad. Star Wars is kind of lightened up a little bit just because there's nothing coming out.
I was going to say there's nothing to talk about,
Yeah, there's nothing coming out, but there will be. I think next year will have a better impact on Star Wars than this year.
Yeah, because May we got Mandalorian and Grogu, and nobody really cares about that.
Yeah, Starfighter, everybody's excited for, even every Star Wars fan. So. Box office, when we left, Scream 7 just opened. You just reviewed it. For 3 weeks, number one, first week it made 64 million. Second week made 17 million. And it ended up making in the first week 97.2 million worldwide. And just today, in its third weekend, 176 million total, making the all-time record for any of their movie franchise.
How's that boycott going? Oh, not well, apparently.
Yeah, everybody's seen that movie, so yeah, surprising. Another big movie opened while we were away. Hopper's opened. You saw The Bride. Did you review The Bride?
I did see The Bride. I loved it. And
Yep.
as soon as I got in the theater, I saw all the backlash, and I'm like, but basically, when you watch it, because I'm assuming you will,
I
it's
will.
what
Oh, for sure.
it's what the Joker 2 should have been.
Okay.
And that'll
Okay,
make sense
see,
when
that
you
makes
watch it.
sense.
That'll make sense
Yeah,
when
I
you
could
watch it.
just
But I enjoyed it a lot.
just
Like, if
knowing
I give
it.
it like a 4.5, I had loved it. I saw it in
Okay.
IMAX too, so it's only like the fourth movie I've seen in IMAX, but I
Nice.
enjoyed the hell out of it.
Excellent. Yeah, I cannot wait to watch that. And while we were away, the last day that we recorded, the Warner Brothers Paramount deal was going to be announced. It was announced after we got off the pod the next day.
Yep.
$110 billion deal. Netflix says that they were paid immediately the $2.8 billion breakup fee. And movie theaters were saying they're going to keep lobbying the Warner Brothers deal, and they're going to target Paramount now. Didn't change anything, just a new name to go after. And the other news that came out of it, which I kind of talked about because I read about it right before we recorded the last episode, but they are going to merge HBO Max and Paramount Plus. They're going to be combined into one service.
Yeah.
That was the big thing with Paramount. They wanted to have one huge service for the consumers to watch, which will probably be $35, $40. Because
Yeah.
when you do that, you're going to have to milk the fucking
And
consumer. But
I mean, not for nothing, Paramount might be my favorite streamer, and HBO is probably my second favorite at this point, and that's obviously due to the fact that you can watch Comedy Central live, you can watch a bunch of stuff live, football games, and UFC. And
their interface,
I go to HBO for their content. The interface is not great.
On Paramount sucks.
Yeah,
HBO probably has one of the better ones.
Yep.
But if they can combine what the faults are of take those out and put the best parts of each into one app, I would love that.
Yes, I agree.
Would they settle on what name would they settle on? Is it going to be an HBO name? Is it going to be a Paramount? Both are huge names, but HBO is a more. It's hard to know where they would stand on that.
I think it would be best just to have an HBO subsection of the Paramount app.
Okay. Or somehow combine the names, but I don't think they can really do that or come up with something new. But even that, HBO Max sucked.
Yeah, don't fucking do Paramount Max or some stupid shit. Like HBO is the fucking brand name.
It is, yeah, more than Paramount. Paramount's a big studio name, but not a brand name. No.
I mean, I would probably just do a subsection of HBO within the Paramount app. Similar to Disney Plus with Hulu has a little subsection there. You can go to Hulu straight from there. I think that would be the best way to do it. Because you don't want to lose the HBO name, because that name is kind of synonymous with good content.
Right.
So
right, and just a history of what's been 45 years of just great content. So history there. I mean, Paramount, like I mentioned, Paramount's a studio though. It's different if you don't really have Paramount. You have Paramount Network, but they're not big. HBO is just a big name, had big monumental episodes airing. So with The Sopranos, The Wire, everything. So everybody knows that brand. But the other stuff that was announced during this deal, 15 films per studio with 45-day theatrical windows. Got some news on that. We'll talk about that in a minute. The merged company will have $79 billion in debt. Great.
Yeah.
$6 billion in cost cutting, including consolidating the tech infrastructure, real estate, which means one of the studios could be closed down. That would be a travesty to history. But corporate overheads, in other words, getting some of the corporate money and all these guys making multiple hundreds of millions of dollars a year, firing them, giving them closeout packages, maybe Zaslav. And no plans to sell off, spin off any of their cable assets, which they did get a lot, and flexibility to put sports like UFC on any cable network. UFC right now is on Paramount, and they're talking about maybe putting that on a cable network. And we'll continue to license the movies and TV shows to other studios and apps and streaming services. And AI will be used as a tool for artists, but never for a replacement for storytellers. They have to put that in there because AI is such a big deal right now, and everybody's going to be asking about it. But that's definitely that was the end of that clause. Starting next month, this is different, but I did want to bring it up before we get into the next part. It's kind of related. Amazon Prime. We have that. Was $130, $140 a year. You get 2-day shipping, 1 day if you're closer to where a warehouse is. You get Amazon Prime, the streaming service, which is pretty decent. The platform itself, the program itself, I don't like the controls of it. I don't like
Agreed.
navigating it.
Mhm.
But they have some great stuff on there. But they want $2. They wanted $2.99 for commercial free. Which, if you're watching it, commercials aren't bad on Amazon Prime. $2.99,
They're not.
not bad per month. But now they've upped the ante. Not only do they want $2 more for $4.99 a month, but they're putting the 4K in a paywall. So in order to watch 4K on Amazon Prime now, you have to pay the $4.99. Anything premium after that. So you're gonna get, if you have Amazon Prime, you get the shipping and all that. You're gonna get access to it, but you're only gonna get it in 1080p. And you're gonna get full of commercials too.
My opinion on that is, I know I've been over this with you with 4K streaming, is it's not as good as like 4K like on a disc anyways. Like it's just slightly better than 1080p. So I don't like it obviously looks better than 1080, but I'm like, for the $5 extra I'll pay a month, I'm like, I'll just watch it in 1080 because fucking I still watch old Blu-rays in
Commercials.
1080. So
Commercials mean more to me than 4K for
I don't-
sure.
I don't
I'd
even
rather
mind-
not have the commercials. It depends
and
on
like
the platform.
like you said, the commercials on that service aren't that bad, and like it gives
No.
you a chance to like go to the bathroom or grab a drink or whatever, you know.
Sometimes the only reason I'd say that is because sometimes it does put me out of stuff, but yeah, and the other thing I was going to bring up, they also added the annual idea for that as well, where I think it's $45.99 for the whole year. So
Yeah.
And the other thing, this is what I was kind of bringing up. Movie theaters, Universal Studios has extended the theatrical window to 5 weekends in 2026. Who's in the background talking?
That's Becky's on the phone. I think they're just doing this so that it gets fucking pushed through. Because otherwise, if they didn't say things like this, the entire industry would be against them. In general, I hope it doesn't go through. Like Zaslav seems like he's good. He's okay with it if it doesn't go through too.
Right. This is Universal, but I think every studio has kind of brought up when this news was brought up from Universal. Every studio has kind of been talking about it as well. Where it's kind of reinvigorating the movie theater experience more and more. And then 2027, the other thing of this, they're going to add 2 more weekends. So it's going to be, 45 days? So that end up being 45 days. Yeah. A month and a half. So they're going to end up eventually having almost 2 months of theater exclusivity before going to digital, going to DVD, whatever. Kind of back to pre-pandemic, with what it used to be. So, yeah. Andor, the writer, House of Cards showrunner Beau Willimon, is writing the movie Game of Thrones. Not sure what part of the universe it's going to be called, but the writer of Andor and the creator of House of Cards, showrunner. Not even really sure what the timeline is. The rumor is that it's Aegon's Conquest.
Right. Which,
but there's 2 versions of that are kind of in pre-production right now.
That and the Mattinson Tomlinson or whatever his name is, the co-writer of the Batman, is also doing one. Like I said, I think it would be great to have like a miniseries written by one or the other, and that leading into the actual movie of it. It's an okay story. Not one I would love to see. Like there's other ones within the lore, but I mean, obviously I'd be down, and hopefully they're good.
Yeah, what I want to see is a Mad King, but that's going to be a play in fucking the UK. So
yeah, you want to see that whole thing, which would be a very good like 2 to 3 season miniseries. Having Robert Baratheon take down Rhaegar the Trident would be awesome.
Well, not only that, like you get the whole Jon Snow arc, you get a whole bunch of stuff.
You get Ned basically. Ned basically only marrying Catelyn because his brother was supposed to marry her, then his brother died, so the Tullys were gonna join back with the Targaryen forces if a Stark didn't marry her. So you have a lot of stuff going on in that. The only thing is, like, because I've read the books and I've done all the deep dive, like there's that entire thing has already been like planned out and like every single detail, where a lot of other stories are just like little plot points about, but not the actual story. But I'm down for anything Game of Thrones, especially after Night of Seven Kingdoms. So
Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see on that. And they did have some members joining the cast of the next season, A Night of Seven Kingdoms season 2. Don't know any of them. Don't need that one. That's what I need right there. So I don't know any of those characters. Don't know any of those actors.
Yep.
But yeah.
And I'm not listening to the audiobooks until after the season releases. I listened to the one that covered the last season. Fantastic audiobook. It's like an hour and a half or something. Like, it's not very long. And they added little things to the show that made the show much better, which is always a good thing. When you take the source material, which is written in Dunk's perspective, and like that whole scene with like Egg and his brother, where he's like about to like stab him in his sleep, is all made up for the show. And I think that added so much to the show and into that character. So I cannot wait for the next season of The Night of Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, me too. Can't wait for this summer too, when House of Dragon comes back.
Yep.
Bruce Campbell, while we were away, announced that he has cancer, and it looks like it's inoperable, and looks like he's kind of taking a step back from appearances and everything to kind of try to heal and try to do what he can to treat it as much as possible. But hate to see that. It was rumored while we were away that Chris Rock and Will Smith are reportedly preparing to bury the hatchet in a sit-down interview with ABC News.
Yes.
I've not heard any more about that. But it's funny the Oscars are happening tonight, because it wasn't that where it happened in the first place just a few years ago.
Yeah, and that was when I'm watching the Oscars, and that was the one time I got up to piss the entire night. And I come back in, and everyone's like in an uproar. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And like Chris Rock is like, okay, it was a G.I. Jane joke or whatever. And like that's when I walked back in. I'm like, what the hell? And then like 2 seconds later, my Twitter feed blew up with it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the Twitter feed that night was incredible. Seeing this, did Chris Rock just get slapped by Will Smith? I kept seeing that, and then all of a sudden the videos start coming. I was like, whoa! But yeah, great. Speaking of the Oscars, the night before the Oscars, which was last night, we get the Razzie nominations and the Razzie wins. And the front runner for winning was
Snow White,
War of the Worlds. And Snow White, both of them.
Oh, is that Ice Cube?
Worst picture, Ice Cube. Worst picture, War of the Worlds. Worst actor, Ice Cube. Worst, let's see, All Seven Dwarfs. Worst supporting actor. Razzie Redeemer Award, Kate Hudson for Song Song Blue. I told you she's great in that movie. Yep. And worst screen combo, All Seven Dwarfs. Worst prequel, remake, or ripoff, War of the Worlds. Worst director, War of the Worlds. Worst screenplay, War of the Worlds. So I told you, War of the Worlds.
I gotta see this now.
The award show.
Is that on Amazon? What's that on?
That's on Prime. Yeah, I watched it too because of the hype, but it's not good. It's not a good movie. His acting's horrible.
Yeah, I gotta see it now though. I love that.
Love the Razzies. I love that they happen the night before the Oscars. The only other award that I like is the Anatomy Awards from Mr. Skin.
Yeah,
but that's just because it's creepy and weird. But and speaking of Seth MacFarlane earlier, we're getting a new Stewie animated series coming out next year. It's Stewie going through time with his preschool friends and a talking turtle. And he's going to be doing space and time. It reminds me a lot of Rick and Morty, but with Stewie.
Yeah.
So
I've watched a lot of Family Guy on my travels, because when I stay in a hotel, I spend on Comedy Central, and they just run marathons of that in South Park. So I've seen more Family Guy in the last week, 10 days than I have in probably 5 years.
Yeah. But 2-season order. It's supposed to come out, I believe, starting next year or the year after. So cannot wait. Haven't watched Family Guy in a while. I may get into this. I like that time travel fuckery type of shit, so maybe I'll watch it. While we were away, Larry David, the new series he has coming out on HBO, is titled Life, Larry, and the Pursuit of Unhappiness. Comes out on June 27th. I think I can't remember how many episodes. 7 episodes. And it's gonna be tackling everything about American history. guest stars include Bill Hader, Catherine Hahn as Abraham and Mary Todd Lincoln, John Hamm and Sean Hayes as the Wright brothers, and Barack Obama's going to be a part of it. And of course, all the cast of Curb is going to be in that too. Susie Eastman, JP Smooth, Jeff Garland. So yeah, I cannot wait for that. The trailer came out of him of the end of World War II, the sailor that kisses the girl in the middle of Times Square. And Larry David comes in to steal the kiss, and the girl just pushes him away. Like, what are you trying to do? It's really funny. But yeah, cannot wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
I love Larry, and it's gonna be set with that type of humor of Curb. So
it's gonna be Curb Your Enthusiasm through history, basically. So
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Gonna be awesome.
yes.
No, Nathan Fillion announced today, and wasn't big on Firefly. I know a lot of people love Firefly. But Firefly was around probably 25 years ago, maybe longer.
Yeah, it was.
And they're going to be continuing.
Because I was staying at my buddy Stu's, and he's the one, he let me borrow the first season on, like, I think it was the first, like, set he bought on, like, DVD. He let me borrow back in the day. It was okay. It was okay.
They're going to be coming back for the whole entire cast, the original cast, for an animated series. It's in development. They're trying to find a network for it and money for it. So, yeah. If you're into Firefly, that's good news for you. Speaking of TV series, coming to an end, The Bear is going to end this next season, coming out this summer, or season 5. Jamie Lee Curtis broke the news, but then then everybody broke the news.
Remember,
I believe the producers of the show.
Remember last year when we didn't know if that would be the last season? Like, that was the weirdest thing. Like, we had no idea if it would be the last season. They did the countdown the entire time. And then it ended, and you're like, there's no way that could be the last season. But glad to come back for one more. Glad to come back.
Yeah. Cannot wait. Speaking of reboots and cancellations, this didn't even have a chance to hit the runway. The Buffy reboot, they filmed the pilot for it, and Hulu canceled it before it could go into full production. Sarah Michelle Gellar announced yesterday that they decided not to pick up the series. So, yeah. Buffy wasn't huge into that either. It was kind of passing by in the late 90s.
That wouldn't be something I would watch when I was that age.
No. The closest thing I watched to that was Smallville, but it wasn't even on the same level. It was superhero related.
Right. Like, obviously Smallville you'll watch.
Weekly. Yeah. In Doctor Who news, we don't talk about it much, but the old class Doctor Who's been around since 1963.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff from the old days, black and white stuff that aired once, never repeated again, and a lot of those tapes are gone. They were just got destroyed or weren't saved or nothing. So there's a lot of lost episodes of Doctor Who the first few seasons, and every once in a while they always talk about new stuff being found, and maybe somebody had stuff in their basement or stuff in their attic, and when they pass, end up getting found. Well, this happened. 2 lost episodes from 1965 were found. Part of the same arc. It was like a 5-episode arc. And I think there's 3 of the 5 episodes now that they found, including these 2, from November of 1965. And they're going to be airing, I believe, in a couple weeks in the UK on BBC. But interesting, because a lot of this stuff you hear it with older TV shows, not just Doctor Who, but they didn't really think about DVDs back then, or even re-showing any of these shows. So they air once and be lost. And this is definitely one of those shows that has now a big, huge cult following. People want to see, but they're all lost.
They said in Back to the Future, what's a rerun?
Right,
they didn't do that shit until like the 80s.
Yeah, didn't do that till the 80s. Yeah. Speaking of cancellations, G.I. Joe, Max Landis was writing a treatment for it, and Paramount passed on that as well. I think Hollywood right now is just kind of saving money, because money is tight for a lot of people, and that includes the businesses of the world too.
Max Landis got canceled, so
I
think the backlash. Found out about him doing this, and they were like, "Why are you having him and Seth Rogen write the same project?" Basically,
it was.
I think
Danny
the backlash
McBride.
Is why they. Oh yeah, sorry, Danny McBride. Sorry, but
that was the other part of the story I was going to talk about. Yeah.
Go for it.
Danny McBride's writing a separate script for that. That news came out like a week ago, and the other Max Landis news came out, I believe, yesterday, the day before. So that was what was happening. Everybody's questioning, why are there 2 scripts being written?
no, the original news was like 2 weeks ago, and there was announced they were both writing it, and they were going to mash the two
Yeah.
scripts up together, which sounds like a
Yeah,
fucking
right.
terrible idea.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Right. And I think that was more of a confusion from. I think it came from Hollywood Reporter. I think it was more confusion from them. They just didn't know the
right,
whole story. I think.
right,
I don't think the Max Landis stuff they knew. I think it was speculation. If I were to
right.
guess, but I speculate on their speculation. Arnold
Yes,
Schwarzenegger. I don't know what he's promoting, what he's doing, but he's talking a lot about future projects he wants to do. He's in his late 70s, almost 80.
yeah.
He wants to do a Conan 3, says it's in the works. Wasn't huge into Conan. Did you watch the Conan movies when you were growing up?
I got
don't think I've seen
I did not.
any of them.
I watched it for the first time about 8 months ago when I got
Okay.
it on 4K. The first
Oh, yeah,
Conan movie.
yeah.
It was
But
not my jam.
yeah,
It was
I don't know
not
if
my
it was in
jam.
my jam either. So Conan 3 happening. I think you call it King Conan or something like that. New Predator movie talks. So that we already knew that because of Predator Badlands. We knew that
Yeah,
he was already being asked, right?
yeah.
Because
that'd be
it's
cool.
been rumored in, of course, the animated series. Yeah. And Commando 2, there's a script for it. I don't know. Arnold kind of done with Terminator, I guess. I don't know where he stands in Hollywood right now. He's had heart attacks. He's had heart surgery.
mean-
he's not the Arnold of
I mean,
the past
bro is
anymore.
he's basically 80 years old, and
Right.
I'm guessing he pumped himself full of steroids for almost a decade in the 70s. Like you said, he's had
He's
health
hurting.
problems, heart attacks, and whatnot. Plus whatever drugs he did back then too, because he was
Yeah.
rich and famous in the 80s when cocaine came about. So I'm assuming
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
we may not have a lot of Arnold left in us.
No.
But if he returns to some of his older stuff, especially Predator, I would be very happy.
I think out of all of those, Predator is the one that has the most legs, just because of
And
the
it makes the most
reinvigoration
sense.
of that franchise. Yep,
Yes, it makes the
for
most
sure.
sense.
It makes.
With
They've
Trachtenberg
already
doing
kind
it,
of given him. Yeah, they've already
Like-
kind of given him the layup for this.
If they
to come
did-
back.
because there's a rumor of them doing the Alien Predator movie with the guy that did Romulus, also Fede Alvarez,
Yeah.
and Trachtenberg, like doing it together. That if he was able to come back in the Predator franchise that way, I think would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Interesting. That'd be interesting.
If he was on, like, if it was like Alien vs Predator, but like he's the human, I think that'd be awesome. But then again, bro's 80 and he's not looking great. Like,
Yeah,
he's just
yeah.
comes with the times. He's fucking 80. Like, can't do anything about that.
Yeah, can you be an 80-year-old action star
Right.
and walk like he
And-
does and look like
I mean,
you're
they're-
about to fall
I'm
over every
guessing-
time you walk through a doorway?
I'm guessing they would de-age him. Even
they'd
if it was
have
only
to,
like
yeah.
10 years. Take like 10 years off.
They tried that
similar
in
to like
Terminator
Harrison
3.
Ford. Yeah, they tried that in Terminator.
Salvation, right?
Yeah,
They used his face. Yeah.
Yeah, Salvation, they used AI or whatever. They call it CGI, but it's probably
Body
AI
double.
at the
Body
time. Yeah,
double
they had a
with his
body
face
double.
or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they would have to do that. But they wouldn't have to make him look that young, just like 10 years younger would be fine.
Kate Winslet is cast as the lead in the Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum. This movie's still coming out December 17th of 2027, a year and a half from now. CGI heavy movie in a year and a half, maybe maybe a year and 3/4. I don't know if that's going to hit the deadline of that, but
Right.
Kate Winslet joined the cast. It got exclusive images for Over Your Dead Body, starring Jason Segel and Samara Weaving, who is, I believe, Hugo Weaving's daughter. But yeah, and Timothy Olyphant's in there too. It comes out April 24th. The film follows a couple who go to a secluded cabin, not knowing that they are both secretly planning to kill one another. Yeah, looks great. So haven't seen the trailer yet, but I did want to bring that up. Lamore Morris, who's going to be in Spider Noir, has been cast as Garfield in a new Garfield 2D animated series on Paramount Plus. I love Lamore. I love him in New Girl. I'm not a huge fan of Garfield though.
Oh, really?
No.
I'm not. I kind of grew up on Garfield, but I grew up on him in
I
the
did
sense
too.
that his Christmas special was one I would watch every year. I fucking
Okay.
love the Garfield Christmas special, but that's about it. Like, Like I'd watch it when I was younger because it's a fucking cartoon cat, and I was 7
Right.
years old.
Right.
But like the Christmas special to me is what I think of when I think of Garfield.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper is in talks to write, direct, and co-star in the Margot Robbie-led Ocean's 11 prequel. Wasn't there already an Ocean 8? So this would be Ocean 9?
That was like the all female with Erin
Right.
Brockovich or whatever her name is.
Yep. I
Yeah.
didn't even think she was in. I didn't think she was in that. I didn't think Julia Roberts was in that. I never saw it. I don't know.
I never saw it. I'm pretty
Um,
sure Julia Roberts was in it, from what I remember.
Okay. So she returned, I guess. That's
I
interesting.
think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
don't fucking know.
No, I never saw it. I never
same.
saw it. I
Although-
I think I've only seen the first one in that franchise.
Oh, really? The all three
Yeah,
of Clooney and Pitt are fantastic. I love all three of them. Second one's basically like a carbon copy of the first, but the third one they kind of changed it up. I think the third one had like Pacino in it. But I enjoy those movies a lot. I'm always down for a heist movie or TV show, so bring it. I guess I just wasn't interested in Ocean's 8 because it seemed weird.
Right, yeah. Tarantino all the time. Tarantino. Watched all of his movies while we were away, all 9 of them. Quentin Tarantino's next project will be an old-fashioned British comedy play. I believe in the West End. He's negotiating with big Hollywood stars to star in it. And it's coming out in 2027 or late 2026. He has one more movie. He wants to do 10 and retire. He doesn't want to keep coming out with movies in his old
And
retirement
been,
age. He wants to end at 10.
They've been like discussing there's been like 3 movies that were quote unquote going to be his 10th movie that have all been shelved. I think one of them was even that Star Trek project he wanted to work on at one point.
Right.
We'll
And
see.
one leaked, and then they canceled, and then he canceled it after it leaked because the whole script
Yes.
I think leaked of it.
Yes.
Yeah. That happened like last year.
Yep.
And of course we got the Booth movie, the continuation of Once Upon a Time in
Yes,
Hollywood.
which
The
of
Cliff
course
Booth
is
movie
done
with,
by the guy
Fincher.
that directed Seven. Yeah, Fincher.
Yeah.
I can't
Cannot
wait for
wait.
that. I think it's based on I think Tarantino wrote a book and that's what it's based on. But I can't
Yeah, it is,
be
yeah,
positive about
yeah.
that.
Do you remember a couple of weeks ago I mentioned that there was a Tarantino movie that was turned into a miniseries? And I couldn't remember what it was. I
Yeah.
thought it was Once
Yep.
Upon a Time in Hollywood. It wasn't that. It was Hateful Eight. There's a
Yep,
miniseries
okay.
on Netflix that was turned into 4 episodes. I never watched that, but I know it's a director's cut of that with more footage, deleted scenes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Tarantino movies in a couple of weeks. The other
When I
thing
get
that came out,
back,
number
yep.
1, yep. The play is called The Popinjay Cavalier. A swashbuckling comedy set in 1830s Europe. Very strange. But the other thing that came out was Rosanna Arquette, who was in Pulp Fiction. She played the drug dealer who was the guy who was going to be Marty McFly in Back to the Future. What was his name? That got recast. Why is it-
Fucking the guy from Butterfly
Eric
Effect.
Stoltz.
Eric Stoltz.
Eric
yes.
Stoltz. She was his girlfriend in that movie. And she had a very small part, but she was talking about how all the N-words and all the racism in Tarantino movies makes him racist and creepy. And Tarantino responded. Well, first of all, she said that Tarantino's been given a hall pass and said it's racist and creepy to be doing that. But Tarantino responded, firing back at her, saying, you didn't have any problem taking the money for the role you had in my racist movie. So
Right.
pretty much what he said. There are a lot of N-words in his movies. Django has the most N-words, I think, of any movie ever in the history of cinema.
They come off so flawlessly. Like the actors, like
And
when
there's a
Leo
lot of-
says it in that movie, you're
Right,
just like, oh,
yeah.
he sounds like he could be a racist because of how smoothly that came off his tongue.
Not only that, but when Channing Tatum says it in The Hateful Eight, it comes very smoothly off of his tongue too. I don't know if
Yes.
he went the Leo route in that role or what, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely thrown around like and a lot of people defend Tarantino for that. I know a lot of people, including like Spike Lee, hate Django Unchained because of that. There's a lot of N-words and a lot of just racial stuff that a lot of people don't approve of nowadays. But even 15 years ago when that movie came out, I love Django. It's my favorite Tarantino movie.
I know.
Spoiler.
It's a good movie. I like it. I'm very hit or miss on Tarantino, and that's like probably one of my
me
least
too.
favorites that I really
realize
like.
that.
Like it's one of my least favorites I really like. Django's a very good movie.
Yeah, I realized that when I watched Tarantino. We'll talk about this in a couple of weeks, but
Yeah.
we'll mention it now. But I mentioned that I realized that too, that I'm very hit or miss on Tarantino as well.
Yep.
And there's a lot of movies. Death Proof, which I never saw. It's the only movie I saw for the first
Yeah.
time, the one I hadn't seen. The other stuff, there's stuff he's written that I've never seen. Four Rooms. I've never.
Right.
You know what movie I've never seen that
Kiss
he
Kiss
wrote?
Bang Bang. Didn't he write that?
He wrote that. He wrote that. I'm not sure, but I do like that
Fucking
movie.
great movie.
You know what?
Okay.
You know what movie he wrote that he starred in? I've never seen.
Dusk Till
From
Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn. Never
Yep.
saw it.
It's okay. You want to know what it is? It's White Sinners.
Okay.
I love Dusk Till Dawn. That was one
Yeah,
of
I
my
kinda figured you
favorite
would.
movies growing up. Which is
Perfect
probably one of the
timing,
reasons
you
why I
were-
love
yeah.
Sinners. Yeah.
Yep.
It's fucking great. It's really good.
Yeah, on my list of movies to watch, of course. I
Yes.
may get into some since I've finished my Tarantino watch. I may get into some stuff that he's written. I want to watch Four
Yeah.
Rooms. What's the other one? There's a big
Four
one that
Rooms
came
is
out.
awesome.
True Romance. That's a great
True
movie
Romance.
too.
That was
He wrote
not
that.
Kiss
That's
Kiss Bang
that's
Bang. It's True Romance. What I was thinking about. Great fucking movie.
And he wrote and he denounced it after it, but he wrote Fear and Loathing in Natural Born Killers, which I've never seen either. He wrote that, but he denounced
really? It's another good one.
they rewrote his script after that, so he's denounced the movie completely
Right.
now. But he wrote the whole entire story for that movie. John Leguizamo, speaking of 90s, has joined the cast of the Exorcist movie, which just went into production.
Nice.
And also, what's her name from The Flash, Sasha Calle, joined the cast. Huge cast. So you got Scarlett Johansson, Chiwetel Ejiofor, you got a little kid there, Lawrence Fishburne, Diane Lane, and a whole bunch of people that worked with Mike Flanagan way back in the Netflix days. You got Cara Jagino from Watchmen. You got Hamish Linkletter, who was in the last season of Gen V.
Yep.
John Leguizamo just joined the cast. Carl Lumley, who played, who was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So yeah, a lot of people in this cast, and it did, like I mentioned, just went into production this week. So cannot wait for that. Just watched the first Exorcist for the first time this year. So and I like Mike Flanagan now. I'm a huge fan. Got some brand new first pictures of Crystal Lake. This comes out, believe this year. And prequel to the first Friday the 13th movie when Jason's in the summer camp and something happens to him there and turns him into this monster. So yeah, cannot wait. Got the Empire magazine came out while we were away with the Grogu and Mandalorian on the cover. Exciting time for that movie. I cannot wait to see it. I like the TV show, but I don't know. I'm not sure what we're getting into. I guess that's kind of the scary part of it.
I mean, to me, it still looks like a TV movie that they're putting on the big screen.
Right, that's what I'm afraid of.
That could be my thought process, knowing it was a TV show. Which is funny because I'm always like, oh yeah, make a Game of Thrones movie, or something like that. But
the producers,
we'll see.
The producers are talking about how this is going to bridge the gap between what happens and how the First Order comes to be. Kind of interesting to see how that happens, like how the First Order ends up becoming and going to rise into the rise from the Resistance or rise from the Rebels. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm more excited for the Star Wars movie coming out next year, Starfighter. So,
me too.
I also announced video game announcements. The next Xbox is going to be called Project Helix.
Yep.
It's a console that will play PC games as well. And that's pretty much all we know so far. I haven't had a brand new Xbox in 15 years. Maybe even longer than that. Xbox 360. I had a 360 here.
My cousin gave me an X1 or whatever the fuck those were called.
Yeah, I remember that.
I hate the name that they started. Like, I don't even know which generation. Like, what's the current generation? Like, they had like the X1s, XSs, XX.
I have no idea.
I hate the names they started going with the Xbox after 360.
They're talking a lot of, it's the 25th anniversary. They're talking a lot about Xbox right now, and they've been showing They've been showing pictures of remember the original Xbox console, the big X-shaped silver console. That
Mhm.
was a prototype. That's what they should bring back for the 25th anniversary of the Xbox. I want to see an
Mhm.
Xbox that actually looks like an Xbox.
Yeah.
Um, and this is a little bit of spoilers. If you don't want to know what the next Mario game is, sorry, but I'm going to tell you. Super Mario Titans. This all leaked last week. And next looks like the next console game, maybe for the Switch too.
Oh,
I don't know. We got Super Mario with a cape for the first time in forever, and also Yoshi wearing the cape.
yep.
And it looks like one of the villains is wearing the cape too. So yeah, who knows?
Uh, it's gonna be good.
Bowser with some sort of a suit. Yeah, I love the console Mario games, so I cannot wait.
Yep.
Let's get into some swag.
Swag. Stuff we all get.
Come on, son. You know that's right.
Really, only one since we've been away, surprisingly, but this is pretty cool. A Silver Surfer comic version, Hot Toys figure.
Nice.
Articulation comes with a whole bunch of stuff.
That is dope.
Surfboard and stuff look really cool. Yep, looks really cool. Like you mentioned, Aaron Pierre has joined the cast of Man of Tomorrow as Jon Stewart, returning for the role. You can speculate all you want on that, but yeah,
It seems like
cannot wait.
It seems like they're going the what they've been doing with the MCU Spider-Man with Superman, just putting a bunch of characters in the movies, and I'm okay with it because
Yeah,
there are plenty of comic runs where I know you were a little bit hesitant on it when we found out so many characters were going to be in Superman, but I'm like,
Yeah.
at that point, I'd been reading a lot of Superman, and there's so many stories that are elevated by the fact there are extra characters in it and not just Superman. So I'm looking forward to this, but I do want to say, on a side note, that I do hope at some point we get somebody besides James Gunn doing Superman in this universe, because it'd be interesting. But he's got a new composer for that movie and a new cinematographer, so it's going to look at least different than Superman 25. And I can't wait. I'm all in on the
me
DCU.
too. I can't wait.
It's going to be awesome.
Speaking of DCU, Andy Muschietti is going to be doing Brave and Bold. Have we mentioned the
Allegedly.
rumors? Have we mentioned the rumors of who the Joker in his universe could be?
I mean,
have we mentioned that on the
Bill
podcast?
Skarsgård. Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, I mean I saw that floating around this week. So wow, that would be interesting because
I
he's
saw that-
worked with Bill, of course.
Yeah,
and
I saw that floating around like 2 years ago because it just makes sense because they just put
Makes
the It
sense.
connection, and it would be perfect.
But
And I would love that.
Would
I'd like
Skarsgård would Skarsgård play a clown again? Another iconic clown figure. I mean, he's going to be in the middle of doing it, chapter 2 or 3 of the TV series. It Welcome to Derry. So
that is true, but also
Right.
money talks,
yeah,
and he has
he'd
a
be a
good
great.
relationship with. He obviously has a good relationship with Andy.
Yeah,
so
he'd be a great Joker too.
Yeah.
I wonder what version. I don't know Brave and Bold. I don't know what kind of version the Joker that could be, but
Yeah, we'll see.
Terrence Howard said he was fired from Iron Man 2 after threatening to knock the teeth out of one of the producing partners of Robert Downey
Yeah.
Jr.'s wife.
Why-
Eight.
Why didn't he say this like 20 years ago when they were making fun of? Oh,
You're
I
cut.
disconnected.
You're
Okay,
cut out.
sorry.
Yeah. What were you saying?
Why didn't he bring this up like whatever 15, 20 years ago when they said he quit over money? Like, if there was another reason why he didn't continue the role, like all of a sudden
Yeah.
it just seems like weird and petty to me.
It comes out 20 years later. Kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Strange. Yep. Delroy Lindo, who was in Sinners, been in a bunch of other movies. Just got called the N-word by a white guy on the Baptist stage a couple weeks ago. That was
Yeah.
creepy and weird. Says that he told Ryan Coogler that he'd like to be in Black Panther 3. Of course, Ryan Coogler did Sinners, so that makes
Yep.
sense.
I love that guy.
Yeah,
The actor. He's a good actor.
yeah.
He's awesome.
I
in
can't remember
Sinners.
what else I've seen him in. I've seen him in Sinners. of course,
Literally,
but I've seen him in other stuff.
he's the Leo meme. Like every time you see him, you hit the Leo meme. Like, oh, it's that guy.
Oh yeah. The Leo meme from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I love that movie, by the way. Not my favorite Tarantino movie. We'll get into that in a few weeks. Brand new poster for Daredevil Born Again Season 2 with Mayor Fisk on the front. Comes out just a couple weeks. I'm not sure when we're recording again, but I know we'll be in the middle of watching Season 2 maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Speaking of Marvel, on the Sony side, Spider Noir, we got some character cards of, I believe they're in Spanish, of CCXP. I think happens just a couple months or next month. We got Silvermane, we got Electro, we got Sandman, and we got, I believe that's supposed to be Tombstone, Tombstone, or is it Tombstone? Yeah, Tombstone. Cannot wait for that series. Finally, in news, Spider-Man: Brand New Day. When we come back, we will have a new trailer. It's supposed to release in the next week, sometime this week. Cannot wait. This trailer is 3 months away from the movie coming out.
Yep.
So cannot
crazy.
wait to see.
Yeah.
4 months away. Cannot wait to see the trailer and finally get an idea of what this movie is going to be all about and the characters that have been cast in and everything else. But, next episode, we'll talk about Shrinking, Paradise. Invincible Season 4 comes out on the 18th on Tuesday of this week. I'm not sure if you're going to watch that or not, but did want to bring that up. On the 20th, the Red Hot Chili Peppers documentary comes out on Netflix. And Project Hail Mary comes out next week, too. You're not going to be back?
I'll try to see it. Vic
If
has
you
to
do,
pick
I'll
up his
go,
daughter.
too.
Vic has to pick up his daughter at the airport on Sunday, so I might do that if I don't go with him.
Okay. Yeah, it depends on when we record next. We could just hold off on that too for a week or so.
We'll figure out recording schedule.
Yep. Until then, we'll see you next time. And thanks everybody. And peace.
Peace.
We're the Geek Blurb crew, here to enlighten you. Talking all things geeky, from movies to wrestling to our podcast is the place where you wanna be for all the latest news and nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. We review comic book flicks and sci-fi hits, riding the wave of action movies with all the cool bits. From Iron Man to Star Wars, we cover it all. And when it comes to wrestling, we never drop the ball. Geek Blurb, we're the kings of the nerds, rating movies and pineapples, our opinions never blurred. Join us each week for a geeky chat with the latest scoop and a dose of nostalgia that. So if you're a fan of the comic book craze, or a lover of sci-fi and all its maze, tune in to Geek Blurb, we're here to entertain, bringing you the best in geekdom, it's our domain.